Wrestling
NWO.
on weed.
Wrestling 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 on weed. Subscribe today. Otherwise, we're gonna have a problem.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Mr. HD, back in the building. You know what time it is. It's time for our AEW Dynamite Blunt ratings. But before we get to that, we're going to cover all the news from the last couple days. Wild Nation, hopefully everybody's feeling all right out there. Super high. Travis Sly's back in the building. What's going on, good brother? How you doing, man?
And maintaining, good brother.
That's all you could do, brother. That's all you could do, man. You know what I mean? It's good to be back. Good to have you back, though. You know what I mean? Definitely good to have you back. You know what I mean? Sucks doing the Dynamite reviews without, our Dynamite guy, our AEW guy in the building. So you want to go through these news stories first before we get into Dynamite? Can you
let's do it.
All right, bet. There we go. All right,
Yeah,
we got
I think my reaction is late.
Oh, you got a delay over there.
My fault.
It's cool. We'll we'll manage it. So we got a funny news story to start things off, bruh. Apparently Brock Lesnar had some backstage heat for his spot at the Royal Rumble. Now I want to know
Really?
who this person is because they said this out loud. I'm just curious. I'm like, who has heat with Brock Lesnar? Is Vince McMahon there? Are they trying to go to an early grave? I'm not sure what's happening. Like, that's not. Like, there's one person backstage in WWE I don't want no beef with. It's the nigga who probably kills cows with his bare hands at his butcher shop. So I'm not trying to mess with Brock Lesnar, but apparently he got a lot of heat for the spot after he got eliminated. If you remember, he went crazy. He slammed the ring steps on the announcer's table, which looked pretty dangerous. Apparently, that spot was not planned. Also, his spot where he attacked the referee Eddie Orengo and he like threw him over the barricade or whatever. It just tossed him, just mangled him, then tossed him over the barricade like he was a rag doll. I was like, he gonna break that man's back.
The same thing that Samoa Joe did to Darby Allin in the ring when he threw him out is exactly what Brock
Same
Lesnar
exact
did.
shit. Just tossed him out like he was a piece of trash.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy. Same shit. But that spot also was not planned. And apparently that referee was supposed to be the one to hold up Cody Rhodes' hand at the end of the match. So Brock is just doing all this shit off his own initiative. Like, hey, it's going to look cool, so I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? He don't know what's supposed to go on. So although it's not that big of a deal, at the end of the day, Cody got his hand raised. Brock still looked like the monster he's supposed to look like. It does, throw things off a little bit. So apparently, I would assume it's the WWE officials. I hope the referee didn't say nothing. Poor guy. I don't want to see him get hurt. But I just thought that was interesting that anyone would have heat backstage with Brock Lesnar and say it out loud. Just seems like something you want to keep to yourself for safety measures. But in another story, we had a Shawn Michaels media call for NXT. You know, what's the pay-per-view that's coming up for NXT this weekend? Is it Vengeance Day? Yeah, Vengeance Day is coming up. And they have a bunch of matches coming up. But Shawn Michaels went on to, talk about the changes that are going on in NXT since Mandy Rose was released. And this is a pretty interesting statement. He said that I was put in a position where I had to make a call creatively, and I did that. Roxanne was certainly where we were going regardless, just a few weeks earlier than we expected to. Despite everything that happened between Rose and WWE, Michaels indicated that he held no animosity towards her and appreciated her performances in NXT. I think the world of Mandy Rose. She was nothing but phenomenal for us. We'll miss her. Um, he also said that you know, uh, having to do it was not the ideal situation. He will say he didn't fire her. I can't fire anybody. I handle creative. It was unfortunate. I think Mandy was fantastic for us. I absolutely enjoy working with her. She was a phenomenal champion. We would love things to have gone differently. So there was some rumors, Trav, that Mandy Rose might be making a return to WWE soon if maybe they got their senses together and stop trying to stop people's bag outside the company when it came to stuff like that, or maybe she just end up giving up the OnlyFans because she loves professional wrestling. With this report and this comment from Shawn Michaels, it doesn't look like that's gonna be the future. What do you think?
Man, if Mandy was smart, she would continue. If she can't keep the OnlyFans or whatever it's
Fan
called that she
time,
got
right on. I think that's
fan
what it
time,
is.
yeah, whatever she got. If she can't keep that with going back to WWE, she needs to just leave WWE because the bag is, oh my god, she made $1 million within
In a
a
week.
month.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, in a
'cause
week.
yeah, I think it was like the
See, that's
first
what I'm
week
saying.
after she got fired, she made $1 million.
Yeah, you Mandy Rose, you already got clout, some type of clout
It
just
would have
from
took her
wrestling
like 10
already. Even
years.
if
It would have make her. Took her 10 years to make what she made in a week.
yeah, bro, like come on, son, like you gotta
So
make it make
yeah,
sense, man.
it makes zero sense
Penalize
for her.
penalizing these motherfuckers for bettering their lives, like
Yeah,
that's crazy. Like,
while they make millions upon millions upon millions of
mhm.
dollars, because it is also been reported. Let me pull this up here. That WWE once again, draft. This is pretty much a standard thing for the last few years. WWE once again has recorded record profits and revenue earnings in 2022.
Of course they
The
did.
train ain't stopping. They get in the bag. Says despite a turbulent 2022, which saw Vince McMahon step down from his role as chairman and come back ultimately. Um, amid all these mounting scandals, and Stephanie quitting, Nick Khan quitting, Paul Triple H Levesque taking over, and all these different things as CEO or CCO, I guess, Chief Content Officer. The company's done very well financially. WWE released a full year for all 4 fiscal quarters of 2022 and reported an 18% increase in overall revenue. 18%. That's crazy. That's a crazy number from one year to the next year. You get 20 more. They're multi-million dollar company, and they made 20% more this year with all of
Yeah,
the scandals and stuff that were happening earlier in the year. That's crazy. They
it's
brought in
nasty.
$1.3 billion, the highest in the history of the company. If I see some budget cuts, if I see wrestlers getting fired for budget cuts, I'm about to stop watching this shit. I swear to God.
Nah, man,
I swear to God,
they
bro.
can't
Like,
do
what is
that.
going on? They were doing all those firings before while making record earnings. They made record earnings again. The WWE train ain't stopping. Let's be clear. They might have been having 10 million viewers back in the Attitude Era, or 5-6 million, whatever it was, sharing viewers with WCW, but they weren't making money like this. You know what I mean? They weren't a publicly traded company back then. This is the greatest era of WWE as far as financially by a long shot. So I don't see them going anywhere anytime soon. So it's just pretty interesting, man, how this company just keeps rolling in the dough amidst the sell. Doesn't seem like a company you would want to sell after it just made $1.3 billion, but clearly the chairman is on his way out as far as life is concerned. The man's old as hell, let's just be honest. So he's trying to get his bag. For what reason, I don't know, because he can't take it with him. And I don't know if he's going to leave it to his kids. I don't know even know if his kids in the will at this point, the way he treats them. So I don't know, man. I don't know. WWE getting that bag. But let's talk about some more lighthearted stuff. Um, well, I don't know if this is really lighthearted because you might get upset by this because I know I was upset by this. We didn't get to talk about the Royal Rumble. Did you get to watch it?
I did watch it. Yes,
Okay,
I watched it like very early in the morning.
okay, so I got to get your thoughts. What'd you think about the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match?
Man, they did my dude LA Knight so filthy, bro.
I'm
Like
glad you said that.
that shit was. I thought I was at a. I thought I was at a bowling alley.
That's yeah, facts.
Some
Hey,
shit like that. Like,
a cool bowling alley where they turn you guys
yeah,
bad joints in there and they turn the lights off and everything is glow in the dark. That's the cool bowling
yeah,
alley.
yeah. I thought it was a Saturday night at the bowling alley. So like,
Yeah, I
you know what I
said it
mean?
looked like a
But,
rave.
you
It's
the
like people doing mad cocaine in the
Bray. I'll
audience.
say. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what the fuck it looked like. I
That
was
shit
saying
looked
that
like
Bray
man.
Wyatt's whole little paint shit was cool,
It
but
looked
other
awesome.
than that,
That
that
was it.
shit it looked cool, but that shit was whack.
These niggas had
That shit is a
glow in the dark confetti bombs for the monster
that
match.
shit was a -5.
Facts.
That shit was a -5 blunts match, and there was
Facts.
5 blunts of Reggie in them
Them niggas
shits
owe
too.
me blunts. Right after that shit, them niggas owe me some weed.
Yeah,
It's like what the fuck.
yeah.
But apparently WWE isn't done.
Nah, they're not done. Nope.
No,
Mm-hmm.
apparently they're not done with the bullshit. It says here, while fans' reaction to WWE first ever Mountain Dew Pitch Black Max were mixed. I don't think they were mixed. I think everyone pretty much hated it. WWE is reportedly high on the idea of more matches with corporate sponsors as they head down the road to WrestleMania. According to the Hollywood
Here's the
Reporter, who you can't really trust all the time, WWE is on track to make between $14 and $15 million in the sponsorship revenue for WrestleMania 39, a new record for tentpole event. For the tentpole event is already planned. WWE is already planning on having a sponsor for post WrestleMania press conference on Peacock, much like they did for the Royal Rumble. He said, who they talking to? They were talking to Senior VP and Head of Global Sales, Craig Stimmel. He said there would be surprises at this year's WrestleMania, likely involving the new sponsor, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I don't listen. I don't know.
Listen, bro. Look,
I don't know what's
now,
about to happen. What are we about to get? I don't know what this niggas gonna wrestle in a
listen.
bowl of milk. Are we kidding? I don't know.
Now, only thing I'll say about this shit, bro, in AEW, when they did like they had like 2 Cracker Barrel matches, like that was sponsored by Cracker Barrel. Them shits was lit. I know one of them shits. It was Jimmy Havoc, Darby Allin, and Joey Janela. That was the shit when they tied up Jimmy Havoc and they tied up Darby Allin and put thumbtacks in his mouth.
Oh yeah,
shit,
put thumbs. Yeah. I do remember
the
that.
super kick. Yeah, so
Well, it's
yeah,
okay.
so
Let's not compare
the shit
AEW.
can work,
It
but
can. It's WWE.
we're talking about no.
Mm.
I understand, bro.
Mm.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is crazy.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch, my nigga. Like Mountain Dew Pitch Black was wild in the first place. The biggest mistake with these sponsored matches, bro. Like if you're gonna do some shit like this, do it for the comedy match. If you're gonna have a comedy match or some goofy shit on fucking, you know what I mean? You got the Jackass guys or somebody like that. Do it for them.
Right.
Do it for a Pat McAfee or a Logan Paul match. Don't do it for the fucking Fiend. He's literally supposed to be. Imagine the Undertaker doing a Cinnamon Toast Crunch or a Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. It would be ridiculous. Like Physics brought up like some matches that the Undertaker had, but they weren't like goofy. They might have been dumb, but they weren't like kid shit. You know what I mean? Like the Undertaker always presented an intimidating image, even when he was doing goofy wrestling matches, concepts or whatever, gimmicks. This Fiend shit was not, there was nothing scary about it. It was like, oh, it looks cool. Oh, that mask that's supposed to be scary. Oh, it looks cool. But nothing was scary because of the theme of the match. There was a soda logo in the ring. Like, what are we supposed to do? How am I supposed to be scared of anything? I see Mountain Dew everywhere. It's like, I'm thirsty, but I'm not scared. So it's like, this ain't working. This ain't working. It was stupid. And now we talk about cinnamon toast crunch, bro. Like, what the? I can't even imagine the dumbness. Like, if they couldn't come up with nothing better for this shit, the Mountain Dew pitch
You
black
know,
shit, they could have just done a blindfold match and it would have been way better than this shit. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know what they're thinking with these sponsor match. I know what they're thinking. They're thinking the dollar. You know what I mean? They getting the bag.
American Alpha's gonna be in this match for sure.
Okay, that actually makes sense. But see, that would make sense, and it would work perfectly. They're comedy wrestlers for the great wrestlers, but also comedy wrestlers. I mean, Chad Gable
Otis,
got sprayed with milk by Kurt Angle. I could see Kurt Angle being involved somehow as a special guest referee. They could do something to make it make sense. But the Fiend doing a Mountain Dew pitch black, the Fiend doing any type of sponsored match is just bad unless he's doing a sponsored match for like hacksaws or, you know what I mean? Some crazy weapon. These niggas had glow in the dark kendo sticks, my nigga. What the fuck? What am I supposed to be scared of? He had a glow in the dark kendo stick. I don't like this. Are we at a children's playground? This is ridiculous. Are we at a gay nightclub? This is ridiculous. That was absolutely ridiculous. I just hope they don't keep messing this shit up like this. That was terrible. But WWE's gonna WWE, and it's all about the bag first at the end of the day for them. Before it's about entertaining us or coming up with sensible things. We kind of just fell into the bloodline stuff, and thankfully they're not screwing that up. Hopefully we don't get Sami Zayn and fucking Kevin Owens versus the Usos in the WWE Cinnamon Toast Crunch match. It's like, oh my God, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna jump off a fucking building. Shout out to Wild Nation in the building, Juggernaut 097. I see you, my guy. What up, dude? Hey, we got Twitch in the building. We got the Twitch crowd, Twitch member in the building. Jerome Rome was cracking, bro. Good name. He said -5 is crazy. Hey, man, that shit was terrible, bro. That shit was bad. KGM, Blue Wrench Gang, I see you in here. Wild Nation, you already know what it is, my guy. Appreciate y'all being here live with us this afternoon. Good. You know what I mean? And we got some Twitter. There's always some Twitter fingers that we got to talk about. This time it's about a superstar we haven't seen on TV very much lately. And if you ask me, for good reason. But WWE superstar Aaliyah has responded to fans wondering about her inactivity in a series of deleted tweets. Fans haven't seen Aaliyah since September 12th, 2022 on Raw. She lost with Raquel Gonzalez. That's when they were a little makeshift tag team or whatever. They lost the women's tag team championship match to Dakota Kai and Io Sky. When a fan on Twitter pressed Aaliyah about not appearing on WWE TV in the last several months, she responded claiming that she's been cleared to perform since October 27. Another fan chimed in suggesting that Aaliyah returned to the ring to avoid boredom. Aaliyah said it isn't her call. This would seem to imply that creative simply has nothing for her at the moment. Back in September, obviously, Wrestling Observer newsletter reported that Aaliyah has suffered an injury, blah, blah, blah. But she is apparently cleared for the last few months, actually. Last 3-4 months, she's been cleared, and we haven't seen her. Trav, any idea why we haven't seen Aaliyah? What's your take on why we haven't seen Aaliyah on TV?
Well, I would say that the person running creative is probably because the person running creative is not a pervert and not putting people on TV just because he likes the way that they look. And the person that's running the creative now is looking for people whose talent is going to take this company to the next level. And I don't think Aaliyah is there yet.
You do podcasts?
My boy.
I know. Sorry. Go ahead, man.
No, I was just saying. I just said that it's because the person who's running the creative is not a pervert and putting people on TV because he likes the way that they look. And the person that's running it now is looking for people with talent that'll take this company to the next level. And and Aaliyah is not there yet. So yeah,
She's not even close. Let's be clear. She's not good in the ring. She's not good. And they brought in so many other female talents that are good. You know what I mean? They brought back the Miss Gargano. You know what I mean? They brought back the Dakota Kai and all these different even Emma. You know what I mean? All these women that they brought back who are far better wrestlers than Aaliyah. Now Aaliyah's gimmick, I don't even know what she is. She's kind of like bubbly and she's gorgeous. Don't get me wrong, she's a beautiful woman. But yeah, in the ring she's super green. She needs to be in NXT. I'd rather see Zoe Stark in on the main roster, 1,000 times over. You know what I mean? So, yeah, she's just not. I mean, she should have deleted those tweets. I mean, honestly, like, I could see them not having anything for her. Like, if she got future endeavored, I wouldn't be surprised. But I don't think Triple H is really into firing people at the moment because I think all of Hit Row would already been gone. So. I think when they do start letting people go again, we know who's first. Michael Cole gonna be like, get him out of here. Get him out. Top dollar, get him out of here. Michael Cole is so savage, bro. Michael Cole is so savage. I think he got a personal vendetta against Top Dollar. Top Dollar said something to him backstage, and Michael Cole is not gonna let it go because he be roasting that man every chance he gets. And it is hilarious, yo. Let's see.
They don't even be out in the ring or in the match or nothing.
Not even
He'll
out
just
there.
say some side shit about this nigga.
B-Fab came out for the Royal Rumble. He didn't even talk about B-Fab. He just started going in on Top Dollar. I'm like, wait a minute. He not in either Royal Rumble. He not even on the show. What are you talking about?
Word up.
It was hilarious, man. But we got one more news story I just want to talk about real quick because Bryan Danielson, one of the greatest, if not the greatest wrestler on the planet. He recalled a conversation with the creep that we were talking about a minute ago, VKM, concerning AEW, because obviously I'm sure as much as WWE and Vince McMahon and Triple L, we don't think about them, the this ain't company, they were definitely thinking about him and talking about him, and that was proved once again. Danielson, he was on paternity, or what it say? It said, as the two top pro wrestling promotions in the United States, AEW and WWE are constantly being compared to one another. Both sides have also shown a willingness to take shots at the other, with AEW occasionally calling out and even mocking WWE and vice versa. Let's be clear. While WWE has criticized AEW through the media, now it appears that WWE has been taking an even keener interest in AEW for quite a while. I got you, buddy. In a new feature on AEW by Bloomberg, Bryan Danielson recalled a phone conversation he had with then WWE Chairman CEO Vince McMahon in 2020 regarding AEW. Danielson said it was during that conversation McMahon asked him the following question: "Do you see anything that AEW is doing better than us?" Danielson, who was on paternity leave at the time, following the birth of his second child, proceeded to undertake a 2-week mission of watching all of AEW's available product. Good job, Vince. Way to make him dive in and realize he wanted to be somewhere else. Good job. We lost Super High. He'll be back. And he would later tell Vince McMahon that AEW was more committed to the craft. There he goes. Let's get him back in here real quick. There he goes. He said that AEW was more committed to the craft of fighting in the ring than WWE. Also noting that WWE had become more known for talking than wrestling. Bryan recalled even telling Vince McMahon that WWE feels like you're watching a wrestling show without any wrestling. In a bit of irony, obviously Danielson ultimately left WWE for AEW almost a year after his research. So, good job, Vince McMahon. It's like you went to the wrestling guy and when I'm asked why the company that allows people to wrestle is better than the company that doesn't allow people to wrestle. So, you played yourself. Congratulations. I don't know what to say about that. Danielson gonna keep it real. I assume that's why Vince asked him specifically, because he knew Danielson would tell the truth. He's kind of one of those guys that doesn't really have any cut cards. But would you agree with Daniel's sentiment on all three of those points?
I'm not. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't hear most of what you just said, but
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just gonna go and say yes.
Right, right.
I'm just
Danielson
gonna.
basically said Danielson basically said that AEW is more committed to the craft of fighting in the ring, and he said, there's more wrestling than talking, as opposed to on WWE where there's more talking than wrestling. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely,
especially on
and
Monday Night Raw where it's a 3-hour
why.
show. You know what I mean? So
Oh my God, Monday night, which is very Raw is very much easier to watch now,
it
but
is
is 3 hours is still crazy when
still too long,
and
but
then
it's a lot easier.
you don't know if the Miz is gonna show up.
No, actually, yes,
Yeah,
you
like
do. He's always going to show up, and it's going to be bad every time. He's going to show up, and he's going to waste 15, 20 minutes of our lives because they got to fill
yeah,
time, so they
man.
put the Miz on every show. It's annoying. It's annoying at this point. He's a controller. But that's it for the news. Let's dive into these blunt ratings. Where's my intro?
It's time for the Blunt Ratings. If this is your first time tuning in, this is how the Blunt Ratings work. We take each show and break them down into 5 categories: matches, promos and backstage segments, storytelling, commentary, and the crowd. For each category, each show can get up to 5 blunts. The average score of those 5 categories stands as the official Blunt Rating. Those are the rules. Now let's get right into tonight's edition of the Blunt Ratings.
We want the smoke. Talk to him. We want the smoke. We want the smoke. Come on, Charlie.
All right, it's time for Dynamite Blunt Ratings, man. Y'all know what it is. The show started off with a banger. A banger. We had Hangman Page going up against John Moxley for the 3rd time in the last couple months.
Yeah.
This was brutal, bro. This was brutal. It was a good match. I guess I'll run it down real quick. They kind of just went went crazy because Moxley jumped Hangman, as he was making his entrance.
Put him in the figure 4 immediately.
It was like, yo, it's kind of spicy off the rip. You know what I mean? Moxley held Adam Page into the barricade outside. Then he, delivered a flying sledgehammer as he jumped off the barricade on the Hangman. Hangman turned the tables a little bit, hit Moxley with a big boot out there by the fans. Page slung a chair at Moxley's head. This is when, Moxley did his favorite thing. You know what I mean? You know what that is. Everybody knows what that is.
Listen, they had the camera right on this nigga while he was doing it.
Yeah, I saw it too. It was clear. I mean, it was clear. It's like,
yeah, bro.
Stop cutting yourself.
Like kept it right on him. Like,
yeah, they caught him. But he got the chair thrown into his head. So kayfabe, that's why he was busted open. Moxley loves to bleed. So Moxley was basically bleeding with one eye, according to Excalibur, and, Tony's like, that's nothing new for Moxley. I'm like, actually, blood doesn't mean you can't see. But anyways, it was a bunch of chops. Moxley was, Page caught a charging, caught a charging Moxley and countered, with fall-away slam, which was pretty sweet. What happened after that? Moxley hit Page with a cutter, which is a part of his moveset. He should probably call Randy Orton and figure out why he should stop doing that. Both men got to their feet at that point and began some more chops. Moxley hit him with some kicks and then locked in a sleeper hold. Page escaped with the backdrop suplex. Moxley then hit a backdrop driver on him. Moxley suplex Hangman off the turnbuckle, which looked pretty sick. Then Moxley grabbed Page's arm and began to stomp on Page's head with the bottom of his boot. You know how they do that, the Daniel Bryan thing. You know what I mean? Kick his head in. I can't curse because little man. Moxley put the arm lock on Page, but Page forced the rope break when he got to the bottom rope. A little bit later in the match, we got a crazy 2 count actually when Page tried to hit that moonsault, that beautiful moonsault off the turnbuckles to the outside, but Mox dodged it and hit a lariat. Paige smashed Moxley through Timekeeper's table with the pop-up power bomb, which looks sick. Then Paige clubbed Moxley with another lariat, and then hit the Deadeye for the near fall on Moxley. Got a great pop because it looked like that could have been it. Because Moxley was definitely a little bit beat up. Mox dodged a boot from Paige, then rocked Paige with the King Kong lariat. Paige connected with the thrust kick. Paige hit Mox with a small package at that point, a small package driver for a 2 count. Hangman attempted the buckshot lariat, but Moxley blocked it that time. Hangman transitioned to the tombstone power driver, then blasted Mox with a buckshot for a near fall. Hangman locked in the bulldog choke on Moxley. Mox cradled Paige to pin him for the 1, 2, 3. It was kind of a surprise, out of nowhere type victory, but it worked. I actually thought Hangman was gonna win when he hit the lariat. I thought it was over. You know what I mean? But Moxley was too strong and rolled him over for the win. What'd you think of the match?
Yeah, bro. Listen, so first of all, I love their matches because it's gonna be at least 8 lariats thrown in the match.
All clotheslines.
At least.
Mad clotheslines.
And I love it. Like these two are perfect opponents for each other. I think that Hangman got frustrated after he didn't hit after the lariat didn't work, so he tried to disrespect him and put his own move on him. Remember, he ended the match on Rampage against Wheeler Yuta with the Death Rider, so he's been trying to use his moves past two nights. So he put him in the bulldog choke. But who else would know how to get out of the bulldog choke besides the person who does the fucking bulldog choke? So it all makes sense, and this shit can continue to keep going. And to be perfectly honest, I could watch these niggas fight every week.
Yeah, they could definitely keep this feud going for a while. You know what I mean? They haven't even involved Renee really yet. You know what I mean? Hangman's still doing peaceful interviews with Renee without saying nothing to her. Like, there's a lot of different things they could add layers to make this even more personal outside of them concussing each other. You know what I mean? And it looks like we're going to get at least one more match, because after the match, they were still pushing and shoving each other. And Claudio and Yuta had to separate them. And, so they were still going at it. You know what I mean? And got to point out here, there's no Bryan Danielson here. He didn't come out at this point. We'll talk about that a little later. He did not come out to celebrate with Moxley or help Moxley out or anything like that. But I got some questions about things a little later. We'll talk about that. After that, though, Trav, we had Renee backstage. She was interviewing the Bunny and AEW Women's Champion Jamie Hayter. Bunny challenged Hayter to a title eliminator match next week, and Jamie accepted. Saraya and Toni Storm attacked Britt Baker at that point in a different part of the arena while Hayter was being interviewed. Then Hayter ran off to help Britt. That was a cool little story they're telling. I like that they turned Saraya heel.
Oh yeah, they had to. They didn't have no choice but to do that.
She turned herself.
Her and Toni Storm.
Yeah, she turned herself heel.
Exactly. Her and Toni Storm. Toni kind of fell under the trap of Saraya. Saraya is not her fault.
Exactly, not at all.
Yeah, so it's Saraya's fault that Toni Storm had to turn heel. So
it's all her fault.
Yeah, so
the best women's wrestler in the wait a minute, she just got here. What are you doing?
Yeah,
what are you doing? I don't want that heat.
Yeah, so basically, Saraya and Toni and them jumping Britt Baker. First of all, shout out to Jamie Hayter, because shout out to Jamie Hayter. The match that she had with fucking Emi Sakura on Friday was dope. Emi Sakura needs to. Yeah. Rampage is very hit or miss, bro.
It's getting better, though. It's getting better. They're putting more stars on the show.
Because this week it was good. Last week I couldn't give a shit about the show. The week before that it was good. It is what it is. But yeah, shout out to Jamie Hayter. That match was dope. Jamie Hayter, man, do you want to just put both of the segments together from later on too?
I mean, we can. Yeah, let's just talk about the other segment that happened later.
Yeah, and then because Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker was in the back getting checked on by the doctors, whatever, and Ruby Soho came and she was like, "Yo, you good?" Like Britt Baker was like, "Bitch, what you mean am I
Right,
good?
exactly. Am I good? We beefing.
I'm like,
I don't like
yeah,
you.
like I don't, yeah, like so Ruby Soho coming, she's coming because obviously, oh, you didn't see the match on Friday, so you don't even know what happened.
Right.
Yeah, so basically during the no, this wasn't on Rampage. This was last week when Britt Baker came out and distracted whatchamacallit, so Ruby Soho could get the
Right.
win,
Right. Yeah.
Tony
Yep.
Storm.
Yep.
So that's basically, I feel like
Oh, I forgot all
fucking
about that. So that makes
yeah,
sense why Ruby came.
that's why
Yeah,
Ruby came back
that
there,
makes
because
sense.
she
I
was like,
forgot all
maybe
about that.
maybe Britt means good, but then when she
Right.
tried to go do good, Britt Baker was like, "Bitch, you knew them way longer than you've been here. Like, why would
Right.
I trust
You
you
ain't
for?" Like,
homegrown either. What
but
is you talking about? You got here 2
yeah,
months before
exactly.
them.
But
You one of them.
yeah, like, and Ruby was saying in a different interview, like I think it was a real interview on Rampage, that she was like, "Yeah, like I don't want to get in the mix of this. I feel like the people who she's pretty much kind of sided with the AEW chicks already, like
Yeah.
by mouth, but we just got to see what happens. I think she's gonna end up like being like loyal to AEW, but
She better.
I don't know
I think
because she out of all
she's a good heel
yeah
too.
yeah
Ugh. I don't know.
not right now, bro.
Not right. That's what
Not
I'm
right
saying.
now.
Like she got to be a baby face right now, right?
Not right
Like,
now.
she's too hot.
Not right now,
The
bro.
way she wrestles right now, yeah, she's got to be a baby face. I like keep her a baby face. So yeah, I see her
Her and
siding with
Willow,
the
she
with
can't
the
turn on
women.
Willow right now.
Yeah. I mean, like she wants some super heat. It would definitely be super heat.
Yeah.
And Britt and Jamie are clearly going towards the babyface side. So it's just like maybe they need a couple more heels. We don't have Serena Deeb around, who's I just don't understand that for the life of me.
Just missing.
You know what I mean? It's like, where the hell is she at? You know what I mean? Possibly the best women's wrestler in the division, not on the show. It's just maybe it's because she doesn't have double D's or something. I don't understand what it is. She ain't got the big cakes. Like, it don't make no sense. Serena Deeb should be a champion, let alone not being on TV. Yeah, bro, you play with that. So let's talk about this next segment, which had some layers. It's not Bloodline. You know what I mean? Sami Zayn type of layers. Yeah,
let's just not even bring that up.
I know.
Bro.
I'm
like,
sorry. Let's not even close. You know what I mean? But
this ain't the show for that.
It's a pretty cool story still, because we had the tag team champions, the Acclaim, coming out with daddy, butts. We had Billy Gunn out there.
Daddy butts.
Daddy
Yeeks.
Yeah, I mean Daddy Cheeks. There you go.
Daddy Yeeks.
Daddy Yeeks. You stupid. You stupid. So they were out there and they had a match against Turbo Flynn and Truth Magnum. Okay.
Listen.
Wait a minute. Did I turn on Pornhub? I'm sorry. What are these names? Truth Magnum? He's literally named after a condom. I'm so confused. Turbo Floyd? What? This don't sound like wrestling names.
Max Caster said they look like fake Beverly Brothers.
Because they did.
I was like, yeah,
they
that
did.
was good. That was good.
That was a great comparison. I was like, yes, they do. So he roasted them. Then they beat them in a couple minutes. It was whatever. And then we had the Guns out there. Guns came out, obviously, to taunt, and talk some trash to the Acclaim. And once they started and they were going back and forth, Billy Gunn was like, man, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of y'all. Y'all, I'm tired of this. Just stop all of this. You know what? Y'all want to beat each other's butts? Y'all go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? I'm done with this. And then as he was walking away from the ring, his sons decided to roast him. What did he say to him first? What was the first thing he said?
He said, go ahead, leave like you used to do and go drown your sorrows at the bottom of a pill bottle.
I'm like, wait a minute. That's a little too far. Why are you talking like that to your father?
I see somebody say Pilly Gun.
Pilly Guns. Yeah, so petty. Pilly Guns. No, not Pilly Gun. Yeah. Oh man, I hope that doesn't catch on with the crowd. But he turned around and he stopped in his tracks and was like, "Oh yeah," and then he walked back in the ring and he said, "Say it to my face." You know what I mean? His son was sitting there, Austin was sitting there looking super sheepish or whatever. Billy said, "Oh, you want to fight? You want to fight?" Because the Guns had challenged the Acclaim to a tag team match, and got rejected. But he said, "You want to fight? All right, we accept. Next week, you get your shot." And the Acclaim sitting there like, "What? What? Wait a minute." So,
yeah.
Trav, is it obvious what's about to happen?
Is
it as obvious to you what's about to happen?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm just making sure.
Bro, listen.
Because it's pretty obvious. It's been obvious for a couple weeks.
I might get some slack for this. I always thought the Gun Club was not that bad.
Nope.
Always.
No. The Gun Club is, I wouldn't say that they...
There's motherfuckers out there that don't like the Gun Club
really?
at all. I never thought they was that bad.
They're good in the ring. They're really good on the mic. They look great as far as a tag team. They're actual brothers.
Yeah. Yeah, but
they have a lineage. Like their father's literally a Hall of Famer. Why wouldn't you like the Guns?
I think they could be some good transitional champions.
I think they could be good champions. Like honestly, just the way they talk on the mic, like they remind me of like bootleg MJFs. They're not as like sinister but they can talk trash really good. You know what I mean? And they can ham it up and yuck it up real good. Like, I like the Guns a lot as far as being sports entertainers. They're really good. And they can wrestle. They grew up wrestling. Like, they're clearly good in the ring. And I think they're really good on the mic. I don't really know what there is to not like about them. Outside of, kayfabe and them being heels. Like, of course, you don't like them because they're dirty heels. Mm-hmm. But as far as, real life, like, they're good at their jobs. So I don't understand why anybody wouldn't like the Guns. You know what I mean? They're annoying in a good way. It's not like the Miz where you don't want to see him, you know what I mean? Because you've been watching them for 15, 16 years. Like, it's a fresh tag team. They're good. I don't know. I like the Guns, man. I like the Guns. I won't call them the trash boys. You know
AEW, AEW Dark Originals.
Originals, you know what I mean? They paid their dues, too. They earned their way up here. The stuff they did with FTR was good. You know what I mean? They were great at making fun of FTR. Like, the segments they did with them were good. I don't understand anybody. You're right, though. I've heard people trashing them.
Yeah, Austin Gunn single-handedly held them down during the pandemic.
Yeah, facts. That's facts. That is facts.
Single-handedly.
That is facts. So, I don't know, man. I hope they get their shine. I think they're going to win, though, obviously, because of what we're expecting. I'm expecting Billy Gunn to turn on the Acclaimed and join his sons. It makes perfect sense. They're literally his sons. So, I don't, the whole him fighting his sons to join the Acclaim thing it always seemed a little fishy. You know what I mean? And now it's coming to fruition. It's not like super long-term booking like the Bloodline situation. Sorry for bringing that up again. No comparison. But, it is long-term booking, which I appreciate, even if it is predictable. You know what I mean? Acclaim cooling off, they need high-quality opponents. I agree, KG.
Buddy said I almost said the Ass Boys, but changed it to the Gun Club.
I know, right? Because it's tough. Because that feels like that's their name at this point, since they've been beefing with the Acclaim. You know what I mean? It feels like that's their name, but it's not. They're the Gun Club. Mm-hmm. After that, we had some disappointing news, or actually, I was happy about it. Because Alex Marvez was backstage with Jack Perry, and he asked him what's next for Jungle Hook, and he basically said there is no Jungle Hook. I'm a solo wrestler. I'm a singles wrestler.
So listen, is Hook gonna be upset about this? And
that's
is
what
Hook
I
gonna
think
end up turning. Is Hook gonna end up turning heel?
First thing I thought,
we need that.
First thing I thought, that's a match. That's a great match. Give me Jungle Boy versus Hook. You know what I mean? It's like, I know people want to cheer Hook.
Jungle Boy could be the first nigga to beat Hook.
Absolutely. He absolutely could be.
Yeah.
And Hook need to take some losses. I'm sorry, Hook is not Jade Cargill. You know what I mean? It's like, he don't look like he should beat everybody he fights. You know what I mean? As soon as he fights somebody that matters, he should lose. Like, he's been beating up nobodies forever. You know what I mean? So, put him in the ring, with maybe a couple people that he could beat that people are familiar with. But then, have him build up a match against Jungle Boy. You just gonna leave me after I helped you all those times? Because technically that's what happened. Hook came out and saved Jungle Boy. You know what I mean? Multiple times. So now Jungle Boy just turning his back on him like that. I feel like Hook would be, he'd be legitimized and feeling some kind of way. So, I could definitely see a feud between those two. And I think it would be great. It'd be a contrast of styles. Hook being the ground and pound guy, Jungle Boy being a high flyer. But they both being small guys. I think it would be a great feud, great match. Finally get to hear Hook cut a promo, maybe. You know what I mean? It's like, maybe. I don't even say nothing. Like I'm like, does he even talk?
I don't doubt Hook's fucking. The nigga grew up in the house with Taz, so
so he gotta be able to talk.
Him being able to do a fucking promo,
hanging out with rappers and stuff. Like, come on, bro.
Exactly. So you know what I mean? Like,
it's just not part of his gimmick right now, so he's not doing a lot of talking. You know what I mean? I get it. It's kind of like
he'll get there.
A Dexter Loomis or a Solo Sequoia. You know what I mean? Cutting promos ain't a part of their gimmick. I get it.
Yeah.
It makes sense. So after that, we had, man, this was impressive, bro.
Yeah.
I am officially a fan now. Let's just go ahead and say that. I ain't know much about this dude.
You ain't been a fan?
No, I ain't know much about him. I've seen a couple matches before he got to AEW, but I wasn't a fan.
Me neither, but
be like I'm a massive fan. But I mean, after 4 or 5 matches at AEW, I'm officially like I'm sold. Like he hasn't had one bad match. He can cut promos now. He's funny. I don't know. There's nothing to not like about this dude at this point. But we had Konosuke Takashi. Damn, I can't say his name. Say his name. Takashita. I can't say his name. I feel like I'm messing it up. Konoshi Takeshita. I can't say it. But he went up against the Machine Brian Cage. And man, this match was fire. I ain't gonna lie. Hold on, Mini-Me wants to get down. All right, buddy. There you go. Uh-oh, don't get caught up in the cable. Oh, we lost Trav. We lost Super High. Here we go. Let me get him back in real quick. Having some connection issues over there. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so say his name, Trav. How you say his name? Konosuke Takashi.
Konosuke Takeshita.
Takeshita.
Bro, listen,
okay.
That nigga has been wilding since he's came to America, bro. You understand? That nigga's been he fought Mike Bailey. He's been fighting anybody that matters on the indies.
Mike Bailey's the dude who had that hour-long match against Josh Alexander, right?
Yo, listen, Mike Bailey is.
I've been hearing a lot of good stuff about him outside of that match.
He was one of the top 5 wrestlers last year in the ring.
Okay, damn, I gotta check this dude out.
Period.
Okay,
like his fucking X Division title fucking reign was dope. All his matches was crazy.
Okay.
But
definitely gotta check this dude out then.
Yeah, but Konosuke Takeshita, bro, like you could tell he's gonna be that dude in the future, bro. Like he's gonna be some type of champion in AEW for sure. Like,
yeah, I can see that happening. I can see him having a TNT title soon.
Underestimate his size, until he actually goes up against somebody that's his size and realize how big this nigga is exactly.
Yeah, I mean, no, he's not a small dude. He stands over Daniel Bryan. He's taller than Daniel Bryan. Bryan Danielson. Sorry.
Yeah. But
yeah, these two had a great match.
This match was crazy.
Yeah, Brian Cage powered bomb Takeshita against the steel ring post, which looks sick. Cage connected with the sliding drop kick on Takeshita for a near fall. Takeshita and Cage then exchanged a bunch of elbow strikes back and forth. Takeshita rocked Brian Cage with a blue thunder bomb for a 2 count. Shout out to Sami Zayn. Brian Cage suplexed Takeshita over the top rope and into the ring, which was wild. You know what I mean? That was crazy. Brian Cage is phenomenal. I just got to give him his props real quick. Takeshita came back with a Liger Bomb. And then start beating down Cage a little bit, but Cage clocked Takeshita with a discus lariat. Shout out to what was I about to say? What the fuck is her name? Natalia. Takeshita planted Cage with a brainbuster for a near fall. After that, then Takeshita followed up with an avalanche brainbuster and then a running knee for the pin. Shout out to Daniel Bryan. So It's just a bunch of stolen moves in this match. I'm joking. But yeah, this match was good, man. Hard fought victory. Brian Cage looked great. You know what I mean? As a big man who's also a high flyer. Takeshita looked great. You know what I mean? As a medium-sized guy who could take a lot of punishment for the big dudes and still get a win. Both of these guys look good in this match. And Brian Cage is going to WWE. Let's just say it now. He's going. He's gone. He's going. Triple H is going to sign him as fast as possible. Apparently, his contract is up soon. He's been getting a little bit of run. This is probably the most important run he's had since he's been in AEW, but he's been there.
Yeah, this is his best run for sure in AEW.
Sure.
Like,
but he's been there the whole time. And it still doesn't feel like he's at star level. He's losing to Takeshita. So it's like, I can see him going to WWE and being champion. He looks like Dave Bautista. So it's like, I could definitely see him going over there and doing a lot of big stuff.
If he goes to WWE and they fuck him up too,
yeah,
like,
I mean it's always a possibility that he could. I just feel
it's
like
always a possibility.
He fits there better than he fits AEW.
He does.
But AEW needs people like Brian Cage. They don't have a lot of big men that they're doing stuff with. Where's Keith Lee?
But I feel like Brian Cage Keith Lee will be back for Revolution.
I hope so.
I'm sure of it. Yeah, but Brian Cage is one of them dudes, because you know how a lot of them like go unscripted. They just have their subject and they just go in on their own. Yeah. I feel like Brian Cage would thrive in people writing something for him.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, you know what I'm saying? He would be one of the motherfuckers that would probably thrive for some motherfuckers writing for him.
Yeah. Instead
of like doing his own promos. And because in the ring, ain't no question, it's gonna be crazy every time. So you know.
He said, Leo said he got to check Takeshita matches out knowing damn well he ain't watching Dark. You sure as hell right about that. He better wrestle on Dynamite if I'm going to see it. I'm going to go check out
he be wrestling.
Where was he at right before? He was in America before he signed AEW, right?
Or yeah, he came to AEW last year on that excursion or whatever.
Right, that's what I thought.
Then he went back, like, that's when he fought Hangman and shit. Because the Hangman match is what really got him popping.
Right.
When he fought Hangman last year. And then, like, he had the Moxie match that he went to fucking back to Japan.
And then he came back after he signed his official deal. So, yeah, I'll go back and watch some of his New Japan stuff and get caught up on him. You know what I mean? I got to. Oh, I think we got,
like,
the track, please.
So,
there you go.
You hear me?
Yeah, you good.
All right, yeah, I apologize for my whack-ass Wi-Fi. It's been whack as hell lately. You can't see the waves, really. My waves is looking 16-bit right now.
You can still see them.
Crazy
that's how crispy
too.
they are. You can still see them. You know what I mean?
Crazy right now. You feel me? But yeah, like Takeshita, I could see him getting like a Atlantic title.
Yeah,
ring Atlantic title ring soon.
That,
I can see him with any of these, but
who even
Orange
has
Cassidy
that?
Still got it.
Oh, you said that like I was supposed to remember that. He hasn't done anything important since he got that belt. He carries it in a backpack. Like I don't even see it when he comes out with it. It's like, come on, man, take the belt out the backpack, man. You're disrespecting the championship title. But it is what it is. After that, we got Renee Paquette backstage with Chris Jericho and the JAS, who said Ricky Starks accused Jericho of cheating last week. Garcia said that he designed a gauntlet for Starks because clearly AEW has no other idea for matches. This is the only storyline that they know is for you're going to do a gauntlet to get to me. Like, bruh, you're literally doing the same thing with MJF. What is this? What are we doing? You're literally telling the exact same story on the exact same show.
I was about to say, the only difference is they doing an actual gauntlet match instead of doing every week. They make it one night instead of spreading it out. Yeah, it's gonna be back to back, like on some WWE 2K shit or something like that.
Yeah, but it's still the
yeah,
same
it's still.
thing. You know
First
what
of
I mean?
all, Ricky already beat this nigga. Like,
That's what I'm
what's we
saying.
doing here?
Right, exactly. He already beat him. So it's like now he got to do a gauntlet to get to Chris Jericho again. I'm like, nah, bruh. What the hell? Chris
That's
Jericho should have
wild,
to do the gauntlet to get to him. Chris Jericho ain't even got no title. What is he going through a gauntlet to get to Chris Jericho for? He want to fight him that bad, just jump him backstage. Like, I don't know. Don't make no sense.
Shit.
But Garcia said that Starks got to beat Parker. Then if he beat Parker, he got to beat Daddy Magic. And if he beats Daddy Magic, then he got to beat Garcia or Sammy, one or the other. They'll let him know that week or that night. And then and only then will he get a match against Chris Jericho. Are you sure they're doing this on the same night?
Yeah, it's a gauntlet match. It's a gauntlet match.
Oh, okay. It just says gauntlet. So I hope you're right, because Lord knows they can't spread this out over weeks, because I don't want to see this story told over 4 weeks. That would be terrible, especially with the MJF thing going at the same time. But then Kenny and the Young Bucks, this was really weird. This was really weird. Kenny and Young Bucks were on a basketball court, in the Trios Champs, challenged AR Fox in Top Flight to a match next week. I think it was Matt. I'm pretty sure they did like 7 takes of this. But Kenny was like, we never miss. And then Matt took a jump shot and switched it. They can hoop, though. I know they ball.
Listen.
I know they be hooping.
I was about to say, listen, Nick, it was Nick. Yeah. Nick. It's a possibility, because when they did the shit before with the basketball hoop, they did that shit in one take.
Yeah. No, I mean, they could have done it in one take.
Put the shit on BT.
Yeah.
It's a possibility, because Nick's jumper is cash. I'm not going to lie.
They be hooping for real. They be hooping for, not for real, but they can play basketball.
I was about to say, I'll crack.
He said they not as nice as me, though, but
No, I'll crack, but he can definitely shoot.
Yeah. So they did that, but then this is where it got weird, because they were in some random gym, right? Unless the arena they were in last night has a basketball arena in it as well, a basketball gym, maybe that's what it is. But apparently they were off location at a gym, and then just fucking Ethan Page and Stokely Hathaway and Matt Hardy and Isaiah Cassidy just pulled up in the gym. Like they were inside on the basketball court the whole time, because they got there pretty fast, like immediately after they started. So I was like, wait a minute. Were y'all playing basketball together and then y'all decided to cut this program? Where'd they come from? Why are they there? Y'all don't like them. Why are they in the same gym as y'all? Why isn't there a brawl happening on the basketball court? I was so confused on how they got there and why they were there. But Stokely Hathaway, they challenged them to a match as well. So we're gonna get the Elite versus Ethan Page, Isaiah Cassidy, and Matt Hardy on Rampage, but we're getting AR Fox and Top Flight against the Elite on Wednesday. I don't like this. Booking 2 matches for a team, it just kind of makes the Friday match predictable. I don't think that Matt Hardy and Ethan Page and Isaiah Cassidy are going to beat the Elite, like, on any planet.
Why would you?
You know what I mean? It's like I just can't picture that under any circumstances. And Isaiah Cassidy, please don't get that moaning in people's ear thing over. I'm good on that. That made me really uncomfortable. Like, he went up. Did you hear that?
Yo, bro, listen.
I was like, why?
He's been doing it. He's been doing that.
Really?
I think that's the first time he did it on Dynamite.
Yeah, because I ain't never seen that.
It's not my thing, but it's been over, bro. Sorry to tell you.
Oh man, that's why I don't watch Rampage, because stuff like I don't want to see it. He went up to Nigger Man, was like, in his ear. I was like, no. What did I do? What? Why? What are you doing? Why are you moaning in grown men's ears? That's weird. Yeah. It's so weird. But he did it. But yeah, after that, we got match of the night. You know what I mean? In my opinion, some people might have thought the first match or the main event was the match of the night. To me, this was my favorite match. This was the wrestling match. We had former NXT superstar, you know what I mean? Fight Pit veteran Timothy Thatcher going up against the American Dragon Bryan Danielson, and Timothy took most of the match. Like, let's just Timothy beat the crap out of Daniel Bryan. He beat
Listen,
the dog.
bro,
He beat the crap out that man.
He wasted no time, bro. He went straight for this nigga arm.
Yeah,
and
he went
was
straight for
on
his arm. First
He was
move.
on his arm the whole match, bro. Like basically, he was on this nigga arm
The
the
entire
whole
match, bro.
suplexing this nigga on his arm. Like,
Yeah, it was brutal.
dropping him on his arm. Like, yeah, bro. Like,
so like Trav said, Thatcher
I miss
looked
Timothy
for the
Thatcher
Fujiwara
being on
armbar.
television, bro.
Yeah, facts. He looked for the Fujiwara armbar right off the rip, but Danielson quickly got to the ropes to start the match. Thatcher backed Danielson into the corner and clobbered him a bunch of times with European uppercuts that always look vicious coming from Thatcher. Thatcher drove his knee into Bryan's shoulders, starting off doing more arm stuff, and Bryan Danielson used the dragon screw leg whip to take Timothy down. Thatcher broke the grip by grabbing Bryan's fingers and then stomping on him. Just real vicious type stuff. Bryan charged at Timothy with the running knee, but Thatcher absorbed the shot like a beast because he's like, I ain't got no teeth already. What you think you doing? He said, then after that, Danielson headbutted Thatcher. Danielson delivered a drop kick to Thatcher off the top rope. Missile drop kick, then Danielson landed on his shoulder and immediately began to clutch it, selling his arm. Thatcher came back at Danielson with European uppercuts. Danielson walloped Thatcher with the low and high, the low-high kicks, the yes kicks, basically. Miz, originally created by the Miz. I'm joking. Bryan Danielson used the hammer on anvil elbow strikes. We always love those. Then Daniel snuck in a rear naked choke on Thatcher, but Thatcher rammed Danielson backwards into the turnbuckle, and they collided with the referee. Eat that one, buddy. AEW, after that, MJF came outside. He came outside. He came out to the ring with the Dynamite Diamond Ring, and MJF was chased off by Takeshita, who has Daniel's back. He already mentioned that, he don't mess with MJF, and he's going to have Bryan Danielson's back because that's his hero. So MJF is out of there. Then Thatcher locked on Fujiwara again, but Danielson managed to reach the ropes again. Thatcher hurled Danielson with the belly-to-belly suplex. Bryan flattened Thatcher with the running knee out of nowhere for the pin. Great match. Physical is all hell. Like, these dudes were literally smacking and beating the crap out of each other for 10, 15 minutes. It was awesome. Then backstage, we saw MJF and Takeshita brawling. And then Renee came up. And I love Renee backstage. Renee be like, yo, everybody shut the fuck up. I love Renee. Renee don't be caring, yo. Renee is not a pushover. She be back at y'all. Everybody shut up. I'm trying to talk. So she was like, y'all stop. Per WW or AEW officials, there will be a match next week between Takeshita and MJF, which should be fire. I'm looking forward to that. We get to see MJF wrestle on TV. You know what I mean? Hey, the champ gets to wrestle on TV. Obviously, he was very upset. I didn't agree to that, but shouldn't be starting fights. You know what I mean? So that's what we got next week on Dynamite.
Really, Takeshita know what the fuck he's doing, bro.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
He's helping Bryan Daniels and shit. But what this nigga's really doing is basically fighting his way into a match, skipping the line, basically.
I mean, hey, everybody don't get a match with the champion. He barely even wrestles on TV. So, especially if he could beat MJF in a non-title, because it's not a title match, it's a non-title match. But if he could beat MJF in a non-title match, the layers to the story they could add?
It's a it's an eliminator match. So if he wins, he gets an automatic shot to the title. He's not winning it.
He's not gonna win.
He's not winning this match
unless they want to do crazy layers.
He wasn't winning this match if it was. He wasn't winning that match if it was if it wasn't an eliminator match.
Yeah, I don't think nobody's beating MJF, not even in a non-title match, unless it's Bryan Danielson or somebody like that. Like, nobody's beating him. Yeah, they got to keep him strong into that match. I think he'll beat Bryan Danielson too. I don't see MJF losing for a very long time. Let's just be clear.
But it's gonna be a fire match. It's
Oh yeah,
definitely gonna be fire.
it's very well could be MJF's best match. I know CM Punk right now is probably his best match. It is his best match, but this one could be pretty
It
close.
is.
It could end up being pretty close.
That's his best. That's his best match. My favorite MJF match is against Darby, though.
Oh yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
That
I
shit
think the
was
CM
crazy.
Punk thing was just the story was so
No, it's
good and the
absolutely.
promos was
That's
so
definitely
good.
the best one.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
definitely the best
But that
one.
joint
But my
against Darby
favorite
was
one is
awesome.
the Darby
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. So after that, man, we had a historic moment. Well, real quick, MJF paid off Roosh to fight Bryan Danielson. He paid him way too much money. That looked like more money than all of them make
Well,
in a year.
huh.
That was a lot of money. And he said this is one of 5 of these. He has 5 briefcases full of $100 bills. He's paying this man $1 million to fight Bryan Danielson. What? That's crazy. But hey, that's what we're doing. I mean, I could have seen if he would have gave him an envelope. He usually has the envelope, but this time he came with a briefcase full. So Roosh better win that day.
Because he's desperate.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. He's offering more money now
So,
because he's even more desperate. That makes sense.
You know what Roosh said?
What'd he say?
So when
they translate
MJF
it?
asked him, yeah, like so when what's his name, Jose?
Yeah.
Whatever the assistant, when he said he was like he said oh, we're all good or something like that. That's all he said. What Roosh said was, I'm gonna take this money from you. I'm gonna beat that Bryan Danielson. I'm gonna take some more of your money, and then I'm gonna take your belt.
Wow. And that's what MJF is hilarious. He's like, that sounded like a lot more than okay. He's like, MJF is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
man,
like that,
MJF is
though.
ridiculous, yo. He's like, that was not a one-word answer, buddy. That man just spoke for 3 minutes straight, and he said, okay. That's not what he just said. Oh man! And they called each other. What were they calling Bejo or something? Dog in Spanish. I don't even know what it is, but yeah, they were Pejo. Pero. Yeah, there you go.
Pero.
So we got Roosh versus Bryan Danielson next week. Probably maybe not the main event. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that next week.
Nah, ain't the main event.
Yeah, not the main event, right? Then we had a historic moment in AEW Dynamite. And in the career of Jade Cargill, the beautiful, the gorgeous Jade Cargill, my dream girl. Actually, she's not, but she is beautiful. Jade Cargill came out with Layla Gray. She was going up against one of my favorite women's wrestlers these days, Red Velvet. Big fan
And
of Red
beautiful.
Velvet. Oh, Red Velvet's gorgeous. She's more my real type than Jade Cargill. Ain't gonna lie. Like Red Velvet is definitely more of my type, you know what I mean, than Jade Cargill. But Jade Cargill she's physical perfection. But Red Velvet wasn't playing no games because she bum rushed Jade soon as the match started. Jade connected with a back elbow, though, looked a little sloppy. They brawled outside the ring with Velvet getting her, her licks in on Jade. Then Jade body slammed Red Velvet and then hit her with another elbow. And then we had Red Velvet and Jade. Red Velvet, hit Jade with a lung blower. Jade came back with a pump kick for a near fall on Red Velvet. Outside the ring, Kiera Hogan pulled up and jumped on the ring apron. She attacked Layla Gray first and threw her into the ring steps, so she was up out of there as the ref was distracted by all this, though. Red Velvet cracked Jade with a kick and covered her for the pin, but the ref was not looking because of the distraction. So technically, Kiera Hogan, who came out to help, helped and then hurt Red Velvet's chances of winning. But then Jade hoisted Red Velvet up and planted her with a Jaded, which she did. Like, it was kind of cool because she kind of got to do like a show of strength where she had on her arm and she just lifted her up with all her, dead weight and then put her in the move, flipped her around, put her in the move, then hit it. I was like, okay, Jade, you strong as hell. Yeah, I mean, we get it.
Yeah,
and she got her 50th win.
Yeah, she's been coming up with all these different ways to do her move, and I've been liking that shit. Like,
yeah,
it's different. I'm sure Brian Danielson has something to do with.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think he's definitely helping her out. I think there's other wrestlers helping her out because she's
Absolutely.
still super green. She got like 7 moves. You know what I mean? But she looks so good. You know what I mean? And she's so
She's still
dominant.
she's getting better. She's getting better.
She's definitely getting
Every
better.
match,
So
every
got to
match she's
give
getting
Jade
better.
Cargill her props. I think if she's in the ring with the right people, she can have a good match. I think the match was decent. I think Red Velvet is a much better wrestler than Jade Cargill, but I think Jade is getting there. So after that, Renee Paquette was. Oh, we talked about that. She's backstage
Yeah,
with
we
Britt
went
and all
through
that
that
stuff.
already. So yeah, let's
And
get straight to it, man.
We had this this madness. I don't even know what this was. This was just dangerous. Let's just call this dangerous. This is what it was because I wouldn't do nothing that happened here. We had the TNT Championship, no holds barred, a no holds barred match with Darby Allin and Samoa Joe. It's just sounds dangerous as soon as you say the names and the type of match it is. Darby Allin came out with a jacket on covered in thumbtacks. I knew it was going to be bad. I knew something bad was going to happen. I was like, why does he have thumbtacks sticking out of his jacket? I don't like it. I'm scared. I don't know what's going to happen. But Darby hit a splash on Joe in the corner off the break. Joe covered his hand with his towel and then delivered a clothesline to Darby. Joe then pulled the table from beneath the ring. We getting the tables out early. Joe is pulling up the table. Darby jumped out the ring, sending the table into Joe's forehead. That shit looks sick. That stuff looks sick. Because Darby looked like he ran his
he really
head.
busted his shit open too.
Yeah, no. Joe got busted open by the table because he was on the other side of it. But Darby, the way Darby threw himself into
you could
the
see
table
the cut
looked bad.
when
you
it
see
zoomed
the
in.
gash. Yeah, he had a gash on his forehead. But Darby, the way he threw it, he went head first into the table. Like it was his head and neck that hit the table. So I was because his feet clipped the ropes. I think they pointed that out as well. His feet clipped the ropes, so he didn't catch the table flush. So his head and his neck hit the table and knocked it in. I was like, oh, that looked bad for both of them. You want to get back up here? You eating your cookie? What happened? Okay. Sorry, guys. Some more
little man.
You got your cookie? Okay. Trav, talk about the match. I'm sorry. Oh, Trav froze. Okay, I'll talk about Oh, there you go. You back? You good? All right. So Joe brawled with Darby outside through the crowd. Joe dragged Darby all the way up the arena steps. Then Joe brought Darby back in the ring. Joe kicked Darby in the ribs. Joe tried to fight back with some palm strikes. Joe sent Darby to the mat with a ST Joe. Then Samoa Joe pulled out. Oh, no, we talked about that. He pulled out the table from under the ring again and propped it up against the barricade. Hey, come here, over here. Behind my whole desk. Samoa Joe pulled the table from under the ring and propped it up against the barricade. Joe returned to the ring, but Darby came back firing chops. No. Come over here if you want some. Samoa Joe grabbed Darby and flung him over the top rope to the arena floor, which is what you was talking about earlier. It just looked brutal. Like he just plopped on the floor. No.
Uncle filled him. Fucking basically, Samoa Joe Uncle filled this motherfucker out of the ring. Fucking Joe hit a brain buster. He hit him with chairs. He tossed some chairs in the ring that hit a suplex on the edge of them shits.
Yeah, that was brutal. That was brutal.
Darby Allin had powder in his hand when Joe went for a power bomb. Then he hit a cold red and shit. Fucking he did the over the top stunner and then he tried to put the thumbtack hoodie back on and do it, but he had it on halfway.
Hilarious. Yeah,
he had it on halfway, so he probably got most of that shit.
That's what I'm like. You heard yourself.
And he kind of missed Joe. So like he got all them texts.
I was like, bro, make sure that jacket is on right before you do this. Because you knew what was about to happen. He was about to do the coffin drop with the jacket on, which was a great spot. I love that spot. I wish it would have worked out exact because I wanted to see Joe with all the whole dots in them of blood. Like I wanted to see it, but he definitely couldn't get the jacket, the sleeve. You know how when you take off your jacket too fast, the sleeve turns inside out. He couldn't get that joint out because the tacks were stuck.
Yeah. Then he pulled out a switchblade. I was like, wait a minute.
Okay.
What?
It got a little uncomfortable at that point because I was like, Darby's crazy.
I was like, yo, a switchblade?
We can't be pulling out knives.
Is
I
it
know
that
Dexter
serious?
Loomis had a hatchet on Monday Night Raw, but a switchblade seems a little more. I don't know, man. It seemed a little serious, but he didn't use it on Joe. Thankfully, he started cutting the ropes that held the ring down to the mat, the pads down to the mat. He cut all the way around the ring and lifted the mat up off the ring and exposed the wood of the ring, which pause which should let everybody know how real wrestling is. I love when they do that spot just because it shows how real wrestling is, because anybody willing to jump off of the top rope and land on a piece of wood with a thin layer of gym mat on it and springs underneath it is hardcore. Like that takes a lot. Those bumps are serious.
My thing about it, what was Darby planning on doing to this nigga? Because if he was just planning on doing a fucking coffin drop to this nigga or all them shit, it wasn't really gonna affect him in any way. So he dug his own grave, basically.
Exactly, and that's what I said. I was like, so what's the point here? Is he maybe he's gonna DDT him or do a different move? But he didn't even get a chance really, because soon as he pulled the mat up and Joe saw him climbing up to the top, Joe got up there and hit this man with a muscle buster off of the top rope onto the wood. I was like, okay, he's dead. Yeah. He's definitely dead.
Yeah,
it's over.
Let me do this move that I took.
Right, I almost killed somebody with
for good from the turnbuckle.
From the top, we're like, what? You almost killed somebody with that move. What do you do? Don't make it worse. But he made it worse, and he got the 1, 2, 3. And Samoa Joe is once again. Well, he was always the king of television, but he's now the TNT champion once again. Man. So good for Samoa Joe, man. I don't know if I really cared who won this match, because both of them were still going to come out the same spot they were before. You know what I mean? They both still over and will continue to be over because they're both great. And after that, we have Wardlow come out with his new haircut, which is just a super regular haircut. He definitely should have kept the ponytail. I don't know. I mean, he looks more professional now, for sure. He definitely looks more professional, but I don't know. It was something about the ponytail that I don't know. I don't know what it was about the ponytail, but I like the ponytail on Wardlow. Now he just looks super regular. Looks like a guy that works in an office with a bunch of muscles. So I don't know. But he came out and he tried to attack Samoa Joe, tried to hit him with a power bomb, but Samoa Joe slipped out and ran up the ramp. So we're going to continue this feud with Wardlow and Samoa Joe. They're going to have to do a lot with Wardlow to get his heat back, to make him hot as he was at one point after MJF.
Especially after this trilogy that this nigga Joe just had with Darby Allin.
Yeah, like how they gonna top that with Wardlow?
These was Joe's best matches at AEW.
Absolutely. 100%.
Darby Allin.
100%. The fact that Darby could dive over the rope and Joe could do the walkaway move, just, that alone just makes it.
Yo, I'm sorry for this internet, y'all.
Oh, you're all good. Our show is we're all over the place today. I got a baby crying in the background begging me for chocolate and cookies. He's so spoiled. I love this little guy. But yeah, so it was a good show, man. It was a good show. Obviously, we got 3 great wrestling matches on the show. No women's matches on the show, which is a little. Oh no, I'll take that back.
Just
Jade Cargill, but that was 5 minutes. I feel like we could possibly give the women a little bit more time in the ring on the show. You know what I mean? Outside of a 5-minute Jade Cargill match. You know what I mean? But regardless, all the wrestling on the show was good. We got 3 banging ass matches, 3 matches that could have all been on pay-per-view, honestly. Like Moxley, Hangman, Darby, Joe, like Takeshita, you know what I mean? All these matches could have been on pay-per-views and I would have enjoyed them just as much. So, yeah, good show for Dynamite. Now, let's wrap it up by giving them blunt ratings super high. I know you haven't done this in a minute, good brother. Let me get my phone out, my calculator and things. So what we gonna give promos and backstage segments for AEW Dynamite. Oh, he's having some internet trouble over there again. It's all good. Promos and backstage segments, guys. Obviously we had the Britt Baker, Ruby Soho, all that stuff. The elite stuff at the gym was kind of weird to me. Wasn't really feeling that. I did like the brawl between MJF and Takeshita backstage. There wasn't a whole lot of talking, which is something Daniel pointed out when we talked about it in the news. They don't do a whole lot of talking on AEW. But it's not like we got the fire Bryan Danielson promo or the Eddie Kingston promo or the MJF promo. We ain't getting none of that crazy. We just got a couple backstage segments. So I'll give it 3.25 for AEW back promos and backstage segments last night. As far as matches are concerned, is he still here? I can't tell. We'll see. As far as the matches are concerned, I'm going to give them 4.25 because all the matches were bangers. You guys could let me know if you agree in the chat. It could have been 4.5. I didn't want to go too crazy because it's not a pay-per-view. It's not like the matches were 30 minutes long. But I think 4.25 for the level of wrestling that we got last night is a great score. Storytelling. I don't like the Elite booking 2 championship matches on the same night. It kind of ruins the story for the first one a little bit. Nobody believes the Elite is losing that match. I like the Britt Baker, Saraya. I like the storyline that's going on there. I mean, the homegrowns versus the WWE exports. I kind of like that story. Obviously, Hangman and Moxley, great story behind that. Jade Cargill getting her 50th win. Great story behind that. So we got some good stories on Dynamite. What would you give it for a blunt rating, Trav?
I would give stories. I'll give it a 4.
Yeah, that's what I was.
I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I give it a 4. Yeah, like you said, the John Moxley and Hangman. I could watch them fight every week until 2030.
Also,
they're
the
definitely trying
acclaim stuff too. Forgot about the Acclaim and the Gun
the
Club.
Acclaimed and the Guns with Billy Gunn, with Pilly Gunn and all that.
Billy
and
Gunn.
They're trying to make a story with the women, so kind of appreciate that.
Yeah,
Also, it's yeah,
4 is fair. 4 is fair. I think they deserve that. They're actually
What did you
telling more
give the
stories.
promos?
I gave promos 3.25. You know what I mean? Just because there wasn't a
was gonna
whole
say
lot
3.
of promos on the show. Yeah, it's like it wasn't a whole lot on the show. It was more just like a couple quick ones. Wasn't really a whole lot. You know what I mean? As far as promos and backstage segments. I like the Takeshita MJF stuff a lot, so I gave an extra quarter for that. But yeah, so commentary. How did commentary do last night?
Commentary is always good, man.
Yeah,
with these 3. No, with JR out of there, I ain't gonna lie.
It's hard for this team to be less than a 4. They have amazing chemistry. Amazing.
Yeah, that's
chemistry.
a fact.
So you watched the Royal Rumble. Did you enjoy the commentary at the Royal Rumble? Pat McAfee, okay. Corey Graves, and Michael Cole. Did you enjoy the commentary at the Royal Rumble?
It was okay. It was okay.
Man, I had a blast. I thought those 3 dudes. I wish that was the commentary team for every WWE show. Yeah. Pat McAfee, Corey Graves, and Michael Cole is like.
Pat McAfee and Corey Graves going
back and forth. They are hilarious.
Like they did have some like instant chemistry.
Man, they got instant chemistry, bro. Because Corey is yucking it up as a heel. Like obviously McAfee's a uber baby face, and Michael Cole's in between, just instigating, and he's both of their friends. It was enjoyable to listen to those guys. Michael Cole feels like he doesn't have any restraints on right now. Feels like he'll just say anything, especially when Pat McAfee's out there because that's his boy. So I enjoyed commentary then, and I always enjoy commentary on Dynamite. Tony Schiavone's a treasure. Taz in Excalibur does his job very, very well. Here, buddy, no more cookies. All right, so the crowd. How was the crowd at Dynamite last night? Where were we last night?
in Ohio, Dayton.
Dayton, Ohio.
It was
Yep.
lit. It was lit.
Yep. They were.
It was
They
lit.
were.
I
Especially because they started the show with Moxley. You know what I mean?
I'll give the crowd a 4.
I think that's fair. That's fair. I gave him a 4.25, but I think 4 is a better score. I think 4 is better. Oh, thank you. You bring my old mixtape. My son brought me my very first mixtape in here. This is Ear to the Streets, Volume 1. There was not a Volume 2, so I don't know why there's... It's 1996 right here, people. 1996. You see? 1996. I'm old. So yeah, that was the show. Let me add this up. We got 1619.5. Let me do my math real quick so I can get y'all a score before we read these comments. 19.5 divided by 5. 3.9. We got a 3.9 for AEW Dynamite. That's pretty much an average AEW Dynamite score. Like AEW is not really gonna get lower than a 3.6, 3.7 on any given Wednesday. But 3.9 is obviously a great score. Not a gold blunt, but a silver blunt. 3.9 is a great blunt rating.
That's the perfect score for this episode
Absolutely.
of Dynamite because it was 3 crazy matches. It was some segments that was all right that stop it from being a gold episode. If those segments was like better, it would have been like a 4.2, 4.3, something like that.
I agree. But that's it. That's all we got for today. That is the entire show. We'll be back live on Monday as I cover Friday Night SmackDown. And we'll be talking about NXT Vengeance Day and all that good stuff on Monday. There will be no watch party. I have to work on this weekend, so I won't be here to do a live watch along for NXT Vengeance Day or anything like that. Shh. Daddy almost done. But that's it. We'll be back on Monday. Super High. It was great to have you back, brother. This is a lot more fun with you here, man. I won't cap. It's a lot more fun with you here.
Yeah, man. I'm happy to be back, man. I'm get this internet situation right, so my waves.
I told you to hardwire that
more
joint. You gotta get
importantly,
you like a 100-foot Ethernet cable and wire that joint all the way through the house to your router. You know what I mean? To your computer. You know what I mean? That's gotta hardwire that joint.
I gotta. I definitely gotta get that shit, man. I'm gonna do it too.
We'll get it worked out by next week so Super High can not be in and out. You know what I mean? Because of his connection. We'll have you guys straight next week. But appreciate you guys as always. Let me run through some of these comments really quick while Mini-Me is going crazy. You want to read some comments? Let's see what the chat has to say. Trav is the only one that seemed to catch the win because he usually loses on TV. That is a good point because I haven't seen him win any matches since he's been at AEW, except for on Dark. I'm assuming is where he won some matches. What do you say? They're tossing water balloons right now at the Pro Bowl skill. What? They're throwing water like the football players are throwing water balloons. I gotta watch this. This is a mess. Now I gotta turn it on.
Hey.
What else? Yeah. Uh-huh. Are you reading this comment?
Oh, okay.
I told you, hey, bro, he gonna be nice on the mic. He gonna have all the skills early, son. I can't wait. That's right. Yeah. The fact that he even knows what to do with this thing is like crazy, bro. I'm just watching him like use this stuff. It's just like, yo, he actually knows what to do with a microphone. This is crazy. He's not even 2 years old yet. Stokely was ready to lace him up and school them young bucks on the court. Can Stokely play basketball? I'm not hip if he can. Love when Joe just walks out the way. It pops me every time. Yeah, that's my favorite Samoa Joe move. I ain't gonna lie. That's my favorite move in his moveset. That's why I like
the
when he
table
fights.
spot. Yeah, that was crazy.
When people try to do the suicide dive or dive over the top ropes or something, he just walks out the way and looks at him stupid. That's my favorite Samoa Joe move. Like, did you think I was just gonna stand here? It's like, no. I'm gonna move 2 feet to the left and let you fall on your face. It just makes so much sense. It's great. Still love Jade non-wrestling ass. Hey, you and me both, KG. You and me both. She ain't got to wrestle at all. She can go in that ring and stand there, and I will watch every second. I will watch. Oh man, Uncle Phil his ass. Hey, that's exactly what he did to he Uncle Phil'd him. He's
No, yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
he's Darby and that jacket were funny, bro. That was probably the funniest spot of the whole night. That jacket, it was Darby versus the jacket for about 30 seconds. It was like, will he get it? Will he get it? Nope, he didn't get it. Darby takes the
Yeah,
L.
that 30 seconds that Darby was trying to put that jacket on is the 30 seconds that they was supposed to be showing Wardlow powerbombing the security guard outside to the ring.
Because he definitely got cut off at the end.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, they needed 10 more seconds. They ain't giving us 10 more seconds.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the middle of power bombing homie, and they just cut it. I was like, man, that security guard was probably like, that was my one shot to get on TV and matter.
Every second in an AEW show matters.
That is facts. Every second, because they be trying to fit so much in an hour, in 2 hours. And this is comment of the day. Darby's life insurance rate goes up after every match. Honestly, I would be surprised if there's an insurance company that would cover him, because it was just
for real.
It's just like that's a risky play. You know what I mean, for any insurance company. So, but they gave us a great match. Shout out to Darby for always being willing to put his body on the line for our entertainment. That he's a sick dude, man. He's a sick dude. He weighs like 120 pounds soaking wet. And he is willing to take punishment to his body that I am absolutely not interested in ever partaking in. So shout out to him. Hopefully he doesn't develop any drinking habits or pill habits, because when you take stuff like that, seems like a lot of pain is involved. But hey, he's about that life. He getting thrown downstairs in body bags. I don't think landing on.
Nah, that nigga don't take no drugs, bro. That nigga.
No, I know he's straight edge. You know what I mean?
That
Which
nigga's
is crazy.
He's straight edge, yeah.
Yep, he's straight edge too. So him and Sammy Guevara and CM Punk all straight edge guys. So yeah, man. I guess that's his way of getting high, doing crazy things. You know what I mean? Which, hey man, that's your thing. Yep. But that's it, guys. Super high. I'll see you next Thursday, same time. You already know what it is. Wow Nation.
Yeah, man. Listen, you heard? I'm coming back for what's mine. I know that.
I mean, it's still yours technically.
I know.
I don't know if you know, but Physics did win the #1 contender spot for Elimination Chamber.
Oh, okay,
He beat me at the Royal Rumble.
Oh,
so
man.
It'll be you versus Mr. AKA himself for predictions for the Elimination Chamber. I'll be mediating, or I'll be refereeing, so to speak. So looking forward to doing that. Looking forward to seeing if you will retain.
There, man.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. You know what I mean? You know he writes half the script, so it's gonna be a tough one. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens with Elimination Chamber predictions come around. Yeah, we're not doing predictions for NXT. I don't watch NXT, so I have no idea what's gonna happen.
Nah,
I'm looking forward to.
It's not even worth it, bro.
I'm looking forward to Apollo Crews
it's not worth it.
and Carmelo Hayes though. That's gonna be crazy. A 2 out of 3 falls match with Carmelo Hayes and Apollo Crews. That's gotta be a banger. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. But that's it, guys. We're gonna get up out of here. I appreciate all you guys watching. If you haven't already, please like the video. You know how the algorithm works. Help us out. You know what I mean? Wild Nation, you already know what it is. And we'll see you guys on Monday, man. All right? It's your boy, Mr. HD, the homie Physics. I mean, why did I just call you Physics? I think that was twice. I'm so you haven't been here so long.
Been a while. It's been a
while, man. I'm
It's
so
been
used
a
to
while.
Physics being on the other side now. I gotta remember Super High is back. For your boy, Mr. HD, and Super High Travis Sly. We'll see you guys on Monday. Deuces.